Welcome back, Truth Seeker. November 5th, 2017. Earlier today, put out a short video on the false flag shooting in Sutherland Springs, Texas. They hadn't put out the name of the shooter, and they hadn't come out with the final death toll. I mentioned that this shooting came on a date with numerology of 26, which is a very special number in the study of Kabbalah and Gematria. And now that they've put out the name of the shooter, they say he's 26 years old. His name's Devin Kelly, and he killed 26 people. 26-year-old shooter, 26 dead, on a date with numerology of 26. The book that I'm about to release, titled Letters and Numbers, the first chapter is why are there 26 letters in the English alphabet? And I begin by explaining the significance of Gematria and where it comes from. I talk about how the four-letter name of God, known as the Tetragrammaton, sums to 26 in Hebrew, just like the word God in English sums to 26. And I explain how in the second chapter, I will teach you how to decipher all of the bolded words. But throughout the entire first chapter, what I do is I bold every single word that has a gematria of 26. God, Yahweh, Elohim, Adonai, Babylon, where this knowledge comes from. This was important knowledge to the Hebrews as well as the Greeks. So all of the bolded words in the first chapter, which you can see on the page, they all sum to 26. And I explain that the significance of 26 comes from our human anatomy. The human body has 206 bones. The word anatomy has gematria of 26, just like the word bones, and so much more. So the first chapter, it's about getting your feet wet, understanding the knowledge, where it comes from, the significance, and I begin by teaching about 26 so that people can understand why there's 26 letters in the alphabet. And here I am about to release the book, and this story comes, church shooting. By the way, in Hebrew, Christianity equals 26. There's 260 chapters in the New Testament. This shooting comes 42 days after the last church shooting, which was in Antioch, Tennessee. Antioch in the Bible is where the first Christian church is. In a verse that's 11:26. The New Testament begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. If you write out 26 as a word, it sums to 42. New Testament equals 42, Savior 42, 42 generations to Jesus, again to begin the New Testament. So anyway, just a little preview here, since they wanted to do this with 26. This is the reason I began my book by teaching about 26, because this number is so special. Today's story emphasizes the number, and not coincidentally. You'll learn a lot in every single chapter. Here's what I'm talking about, the 260 chapters in Christianity, And now I might have to sneak in an extra few sentences on today's shooting in this chapter, or maybe I'll tuck it in with the chapter on false flags, just as a later reinforcer in the book and this on the significance of 26. So just scanning through this. I know a lot of you are hungry for the book. It's almost finished. Putting the final touches on it. And it's just amazing everything that's going on in the news right now. I feel like the powers that shouldn't be are trying to help me make the book even better with some of the headlines in recent weeks, So there it is, Truth Seeker. Book's coming very soon. You're going to want to pick up some extra copies of this when it does come out. You want to get them to your friends and family. Everybody who speaks English deserves to know this code and what's going on in the world. And anyone who denies what's in this book, it's not going to be a good look for them. It's not going to be a good look at all, especially when we get news like this. Got to put an end to the coincidence theory. Coincidence theory is a real killer. These stories are made to mock. again and again. 26-year-old shooter, 26 dead. You learn how to get a date numerology. And just think about it. I mean, I just put out the video earlier today, and I talked about today's date numerology before this even came out. And this happens again and again with my work. I mean, you follow my work, I'm always talking about the numbers before they even come out in the report. Because again and again, the news is synced up with the date, which I explain very clearly in the book. You're going to love the book. It's way better than anything I've done before. Honestly, it might be one of the most important books ever written in this world. So I'm making it so it won't disappoint anyone. Until next time, Truth Seeker.